What does this, and this have in common? Some people will say good animation. Some will say cute, interesting characters. Some will say, alright, you get the point. There is a lot of things in common with the art that Studio Ghibli did. But there is one thing that I'm sure that no one said, and is the most prominent thing that Studio Ghibli has. The reason why a lot of us love their movies. That thing is magic. That breathtaking feeling that you get each time you watch one of their movies. So I was thinking, and I said to myself, if Studio Ghibli is so magical, why they haven't made something with the most magical genre in any media, medieval fantasy? Just let's imagine that this movie and this game doesn't exist, alright? Right now I need you to work with me so this video doesn't fall apart. That's why I'm here! In this video I will take the Studio Ghibli style and make 3 characters using the most classic medieval fantasy character archetypes to make that magical feeling go at its maximum level. For the first one, we have the Swordman. For D&D players, it's the fighter. It's the character that normally is really good with weapons, especially swords, and has an honor code. The hero type that is a good leader. As always, I need reference for these things, so I had to think of 2 characters that fit into the archetype perfectly, to have reference of how we culturally identify this type of characters visually. So I started to think about characters that met the requirements, and to be honest, one character popped into my mind immediately: Aragorn. He is the guy. Probably he is the most famous and respected swordman in medieval fantasy in the world. The other one that I thought was Jon Snow, which fits really well here. With the characters chosen, I searched for some Ghibli references to help me with the style. Once that was done, I started designing. First of all, he had to have a sword, and the idea was to give him a distinctive sword, because Aragorn and Jon have unique swords, so having a special sword is like a trait of this type of character. Also, I wanted to add different layers of clothing, but I couldn't add too much complexity to the design, because this is a Studio Ghibli art style, and this type of style has been developed with animation in mind, so the characters don't have too much detail, so the animators don't throw themselves through the window, like in Mappa. And to finish the idea of the design, I wanted to give him comfortable clothes and a necklace that maybe has some meaning behind it. Once the rough sketch was done, I used it as a guideline to refine all these ideas into a better drawing, trying to be more faithful to the art style, which actually was extremely hard for me, because I come from a more sharp, stylized, detailed, aggressive style, so going to that softness and roundness was really complicated. After a lot of time, I finished the design, and I have to say that I almost broke my wrist making this. I'm not used to making this type of art style with so many continuous lines. I have to say that I'm really happy with the final result. And I was really worried with this one, because this archetype is one of my favorites. Thankfully, it came out really good. The second character was the wizard, or the mage. That old person that is really wise, uses magic, and knows a lot of the world, and always has secrets. Also, they usually have a slight comical touch. They are the ones that you search if you want advice or you need help with something. So for the reference for this, I started to think characters like this. And these ones, I think, are too obvious. The first one is Gandalf. The same as Aragorn, when we think about this archetype, this guy is the one. But here we have another one that is very clear, that usually is confused with Gandalf. And this one is Dumbledore, which is like Gandalf, but a little bit more sadical and cruel. Yeah, If you know, you know. So after searching some references of Studio Ghibli, I started to make the rough sketch design. Here, as you can see, the biggest traits of this type of character is having a large grey beard. And the same with the hair. Also, it was interesting to give him large comfortable clothes and a little bit of belly to make him more round so he looks more nice and comfortable, which I think is necessary that this character feels comfortable. To finish, I wanted to give him a magic staff because I thought that a wand wouldn't be a good choice for the silhouette of the character. After finishing the sketch, I started the line art and follow it with the colors. And I want to talk about the colors a little, because Ghibli uses some iconic colors, like the blue or the red, but they don't use purple that much. But I used it here, a saturated bright purple, because purple is usually tied to magic stuff, so I wanted to communicate magical essence very clearly with this character. By the way, don't forget to like and subscribe if you are liking the video, alright? Remember that it helps a lot. And here you have the final result. Sadly, I don't like this one as much as the first. I think the face is on point, but the clothes are boring. I think you can see here that I'm not that good at this art style. For the final character, we have the rogue. This is usually a dark character with a dark background that has a dark personality. As you can see, a lot of darkness. They are usually rebellious people that have a more free lifestyle. So, thinking about the two characters for this one, it came to my mind Bean from Mist Borne and Arya Stark from Game of Thrones. Starting the initial sketch design, I wanted to make her with short hair, because for a rogue that will move a lot and needs to be quick and agile, it's not a bad idea to don't have hair bothering you on front of your eyes. Also, I wanted to give her a cloak and daggers, which is a characteristic trait of this archetype of character. Once the sketch was done, it was time to finish and refine the character. And I have to say that here I felt way more loose than with the others. I felt more confident with the style, and you can tell by the speed I had doing this one. That is the character that I spent less time out of the three. Also, I didn't nearly broke my wrist doing this one, which is kinda nice, I suppose. So, after a lot of work, here you have the last one. And this one I think is amazing. I love it. Like, if you put all the three characters together, I think it's safe to say that I have done a nice job making these medieval fantasy archetypes into Ghibli style. But at the end of the day, you are the one to decide. What do you think? Do you think I have done a bad job? Or do you think I nailed the Ghibli style? Let me know in the comments. Now, if you excuse me, I will go and cry in the shower while I regret even being born in this horrible time. I honestly hope that World War III don't happen. I don't want to go to the military. I don't want to experience Call of Duty. So, I hope you enjoyed the video, have a beautiful day, and a big hug to everybody. Bye!